crypto industry is going through its own version, and the financial crisis is right here, while cryptocurrency users are trying to recover their portfolios. Do you think what could be the big disaster for crypto and Bitcoin holders? That's strange. Bitcoin has pulled back from all-time highs and other top cryptocurrencies have struggled as investors are not getting the Bitcoin halving bump they want. Investors flocked to Bitcoin and other cryptos in the last few months following the launch of the first spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds in January. But it is optimism surrounding the imminent launch of the first Ethereum spot ETFs has faded in recent weeks. However, crypto investors are increasingly concerned about a potential downturn in the US economy as inflation remains stubbornly sticky while GDP growth drops sharply in the first quarter. Well, if we look at the April crypto market performance, so there were inflows to new spot Bitcoin ETFs that pushed Bitcoin prices to new all-time highs above $73,000 in March. On the other hand, Bitcoin prices pulled back from their highs in April. They finished the month slightly higher than $60,000. Similarly, after rising as high as $4,092 in March, Ethereum prices finished April right below $3,000 as investors continue to hope spot Bitcoin ETF approval will soon open the door for approval of spot Ethereum ETFs by the US Securities and Exchange Commission. While Bitcoin prices declined above 8% in April, they are still up around 50% year-to-date. Ethereum prices also dropped above 8% in April, but are up about 40% so far in 2024. The largest spot Bitcoin ETF by assets under management, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust ETF, declined 11% in April. However, that was caused by investor concerns about the annual cost of that particular fund, not by any jitters over strategic cryptocurrency issues or macroeconomic trends. Well, among the 10 largest cryptocurrencies by market capitalization, Toncoin was the best April performer with a 5% gain. Avalanche was the worst performer with a 37% decline. Now, the Bitcoin network completed its latest halving event on April 19th, and an additional 210,000 blocks of transactions are added to the Bitcoin blockchain. The network automatically undergoes a halving, during which the reward Bitcoin miners receive for validating a block of transactions is cut in half. Bitcoin halvings also decrease the supply of new BTC created. Historically, Bitcoin prices have bottomed roughly a year before a halving occurs and continue to rally for roughly a year after a halving is completed. The latest halving at block 840,000 in the Bitcoin blockchain was the fourth halving the Bitcoin network has completed since the crypto launched back in 2009. The halving cut the number of rewards Bitcoin miners receive for verifying a single block of transactions from 6.25 BTC to 3.125 BTC. As Davies says, the Bitcoin halving was largely priced in, and people expected the launch of runes, but these moves by the US regulator weren't nearly as telegraphed and will have far more wide-ranging impacts to the industry. However, Ripple and other crypto projects and platforms that regulators are targeting will continue to fight back in court. John Glover, Chief Investment Officer at Ledien, says crypto investors will be paying close attention to US economic data and monetary policy. The key to Bitcoin price performance in May will be data releases out of the US, with all eyes on inflation data. By September 2018, cryptocurrencies collapsed 80% from their peak in January 2018, making the 2018 cryptocurrency crash worse more than the dot-com bubble's 78% collapse. However, by 26 November, Bitcoin also fell by 80% from its peak, having lost almost one-third of its value in the previous week. No doubt this is the biggest crypto disaster. Bitcoin is the original cryptocurrency, which has been on a wild ride since its creation in 2009. Earlier the following year, the price of one Bitcoin surged to over $60,000, an eightfold increase in 12 months. Then it suddenly fell to half that value in just a few weeks. Values of other cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin have increased and fallen even more quickly. In fact, after the recent fall in their prices, the total market value of all cryptocurrencies may exceed $1.5 trillion, no doubt, which is a staggering amount for virtual objects that are nothing more than PC code. Before 3 months, Bitcoin updates an emergency. because Bitcoin is on the brink of a disaster, because it is getting down to the $40,000 level if Bitcoin loses this level, so it will be the first time since September 11, 2023, that it makes a lower low. As the price is going down around $27,000 to $31,000, so who holds too much Bitcoin long trade, they may face big disaster. Basically, Bitcoin was created by a person or group that remains unidentified as a way to conduct transactions without the intervention of a trusted third party, like a central bank or financial institution. Its emergence amid the global financial crisis breaks trust in banks and even governments. However, Bitcoin-enabled transactions use only digital identities, granting users some degree of anonymity. This fact made Bitcoin the preferred currency for illicit activities, such as recent ransomware attacks. Basically, it powered the shadowy darknet of illegal online commerce, much such as PayPal helped the rise of eBay by making payments easier. While Bitcoin's roller coaster prices lead to a big disaster for Bitcoin holders. However, as it gained popularity, Bitcoin became cumbersome, slow, and expensive to use. Alright, you have to understand that it takes about 10 minutes to validate most transactions using the cryptocurrency, and the transaction fee has been at a median of about $20 this year, so the unstable value has also made it an unviable medium of exchange. Do you believe that a .com entrepreneur who once lost $6 billion in one day has made billions from the Bitcoin rally and his company's surging shares? MicroStrategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor's big bet on Bitcoin was supposed to be his downfall. However, today, Bitcoin's most ardent proponent is Michael Saylor, the founder of MicroStrategies. He is not new to financial fame in the late 90s. However, James Rastey of Coast Capital spells out in The Naked Truth About Bitcoin, I spelt out in great detail all the reasons why Bitcoin is nothing but an elaborate scam and wouldn't disrupt anything except the bank accounts of the greedy and the gullible. In this way, it has become clear that Bitcoin does not offer true anonymity. Even the success of the government in tracking and retrieving part of the Bitcoin ransom paid to the hacking collective DarkSide in the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack has heightened doubts about the security of Bitcoin transactions. However, Bitcoin has failed in its stated objectives. It has become a speculative investment. Of course, this is puzzling. It has no intrinsic value and is not backed by anything. Bitcoin devotees will clear like gold. Its value comes from its scarcity, but scarcity by itself can hardly be a source of value. Bitcoin holders seem to be relying on the greater fool theory. All you need to profit from an investment is to find someone willing to buy the asset at an even higher price. Not only Bitcoin, but all digital currencies are transforming the future of money. Despite their high valuations, a collapse of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is unlikely to rattle the financial system. Banks have mostly stayed on the sidelines with any speculative bubble and naive investors at the greatest risk of losses. You must remember the FTX collapsed in early November 2022 after CoinDesk reported an affiliated trading firm, Alameda Research, derived most of its value from speculative cryptocurrency tokens that had damaging domino effects on the cryptocurrency industry, stoking widespread mistrust among the public and toppling cryptocurrency services that did business with it. At the time, FTX was the third largest crypto exchange. Bitcoin is not innocuous. Transactions are processed by miners using huge amounts of computing power in return for rewards in the form of Bitcoin. In fact, the Bitcoin network consumes as much energy as entire countries such as Argentina and Norway, not to mention the mountains of electronic waste from specialized machines used for such mining operations that burn out rapidly. Whatever Bitcoin's eventual fate, its blockchain technology is truly groundbreaking. Bitcoin has shown how programs running on networks of computers might be harnessed to securely conduct payments within and between countries without relying on avaricious financial institutions that charge high fees. For migrant workers, sending remittances back to their home countries, for instance, such fees are a major burden. Technologies that make payments cheaper, quicker, and easier to track would benefit consumers and businesses, facilitating both domestic and international commerce. The technology is not without risks. And when any collapse occurs in the world of crypto, they're a mess created. Well, if you like this interesting video, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that you can stay tuned for the latest updates. We'll catch you soon. Goodbye for now.